12:15 today, 29th of July 2025, the Irish High Court will hear a case that exposes how Israeli military and intelligence networks have embedded themselves into Irish media and tech networks. At the centre of this case is Coimisiún Meán, Ireland's media and online safety regulator, who is refusing to release any records about its interactions with Inbal Goldberger is a former officer with Israel's 8200 unit. The regulator has twice used a neither confirm nor deny response to Freedom of Information requests, citing her privacy. This is despite her own documented attendance at events in the regulator's office. But this hearing is not about that one individual, it is about the networks behind her. Unit 820 is the Israeli military's largest intelligence division. It recruits Israeli teenagers and subjects them to military and ideological training. It grooms them for careers in surveillance, hacking, and psychological operations. Former members of this unit have confirmed that the group collects intimate personal details about Palestinians, including their health and family details, so as to blackmail and control communities and feed military targeting operations. These practices are central to Israel's occupation and its current assault on Gaza, which many human rights experts and governments have described as a genocide. Graduates from Unit 820 are not left to drift after service. The Israeli state and its allies channels them into Israel's booming tech industry. Dozens of the world's cybersecurity, data mining, and content moderation companies were either founded by or staffed with 820 veterans. These companies receive significant state funding and foreign investment, especially from the United States. They market these tools as battle-tested because they have been developed and refined on Palestinians. This pipeline blurs the line between Israeli military service, private profit, private equity, and global geopolitical influence networks. And these networks extend deep into the heart of the global tech industry. Goldberger spent a decade inside of that system. She worked in the Israeli Prime Minister's office, and after leaving government service, she went into global tech. She came to Dublin and worked at Google as head of escalation management for EMEA and Asia Pacific. That position holds global authority over what information can be found and removed on a Google search. She later became the vice president for trust and safety at Actifence, a surveillance company founded by another 820 veteran with full Israeli state backing and funding. Ireland is now directly entangled in this web. According to a July 2024 report, Irish exports of dual-use telecommunications and cybersecurity technologies to Israel rose from €10 million in 2022 to 70 million in 2023. What the fuck? These exports include intrusion software, network monitoring tools, and encrypted data systems, the same categories of technology produced by Unit 820 firms. At the same time, the Irish Defence Forces continue to buy from Israeli state-owned arms companies. In the first quarter of 2024 alone, Ireland paid $590,000 to Aeronautics Defence Systems, whose drones have been used in Israel to strike Palestinians. Against that backdrop, Coimisiún Meán is implementing the EU Digital Services Act. This includes deciding who will hold trusted flagger status. This is the power to fast-track takedown requests across all major platforms in Europe. Goldberger has publicly stated that she attended events at the regulator's office alongside dozens of potential flaggers. If a former Unit 820 officer is advising or influencing this process, it places the machinery of Israeli military and intelligence directly inside a system that will shape what Europeans can see and say online. The case today is merely about whether the Irish public is allowed to know the full extent of these ties And if the Commission rules in favour of Ms. Goldberger, we will find out what they're hiding from us anyway. The High Court's ruling today is to determine whether Coimisiún Meán can keep its communications with Ms. Goldberger and her networks secret from the Irish public, at a moment when Israeli military and lobbying and influencing networks are trying to expand their reach in Ireland. At a time when Gaza is still under assault and 2 million people face famine, while Irish exports are feeding the Israeli tech and defence industry. While Israeli state operatives can move around in Ireland's regulatory and economic structures, today's case is about transparency as to just how deeply these networks have penetrated Irish life. Will Ireland continue to let that happen in silence? Find out today.